Good evening, beloved children. How delightful to be gathered at table with you once again. You have set a table before me in the midst of everything that frightens me, everything that concerns me. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. We have often deliberated upon the meaning of the table that is brought forward in that beautiful poetry that David, the shepherd, the prophet, the warrior, that he wrote so many thousands of years ago. The idea of divine consciousness setting a table before us in the presence of everything that is concerning, everything that might cause us unease or worry, everything that frightens us. It is as though divinity celebrates everything that we find horrifying, because in divine mind there is a sense that all of this is coming to pass so that we might all progress together. The table set before us is a table that is laid with precision, with equanimity, with deliverance, with a sense of justice, with a sense of all is right. It doesn't necessarily mean that all is comfortable or all is as we want it to be. When we are traveling upon this earth plane and walking in the ways of the world, there are many circumstances that are deeply uncomfortable, disquieting for us, that call us, that bring forth from us feelings of dis-ease, even anger, and sometimes hatred. When we acknowledge that all of these circumstances have come to pass, we have greater opportunity to notice the table before us, the table that is set for us in such a way so that we may know that we are always progressing forward, whether we are aware of it or not. This preamble was brought to you by your group consciousness, Zarina, and we are delighted to once again sit at this beautiful table with you. There are many who would like to speak with you, among you, and from you on this evening. We have someone who has come from many centuries ago to speak to you about a passage from a book that many of you call Ecclesiastes. The writer has been thought to have been Solomon, a very wise person, a wise king, also thought to have been Kohelet, the same as Solomon, many believe. At any rate, this book was written at the end of a certain passage in a certain soul's life. And this certain soul, looking back upon all that appeared and all that vanished in the course of his lifetime, and that which remained upon the table, we bring forth the author of this piece of writing with the understanding that this is not one particular author, but rather a collective a tribe of voices speaking from the very, very end of life's candle, looking back and looking forward at the same time. We withdraw so that the collective, known as Kohelet, might speak. And this is Kohelet, and we are grateful for this time, for being with you, for sitting with you at your table. We have been impressing your channel in the past several days with these passages from the book that you call Ecclesiastes. For everything, there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. These words perhaps are very familiar to you. And if the words themselves are not familiar to you, what the words describe are deeply familiar to you. For by this time in your soul evolution, you have all been born and you have died millions of times. You have loved and you have hated. You have killed and you have been killed. You have made peace. You have brought forth incredible buildings and edifices, and you have torn them down. You have sown amazing plants and thoughts and creative energies, and you have reaped what you have sown. You have stood in places where things have burnt to ashes, and you have noticed what has come forth. You have spoken at the top of your lungs, called from the marketplace for justice, for equality. You have spoken with the force of mighty prophets, and there have been times when you have chosen to be silent. You have embraced dearly and passionately, and you have refrained from embracing. You have remembered and you have forgotten. You have been carried away by floods, by famine, by fire, and you have returned over and over and over again. You are now at that place of great wisdom in your being when you can say, along with us, to everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. What does it mean, a time for every purpose under heaven? Beloveds, as you are well aware, having lived through every circumstance known to the tribe we call humanity, having been burnt and drowned, having been hung and tortured, having rejoiced and wept, having given birth and watched your children die, having gone through every inch of the human experience, not just once or twice, but millions of times, you now understand that these circumstances come to pass under the gaze of your heavenly consciousness, under the gaze of the observer that you are. Right now, you are touching in with the observer that you are. You are remembering the heavenly observer that you are. You are remembering that the vast portion of your consciousness is always in heavenly observance, always able to separate the wheat from the chaff, the truth from what is false, to see clearly what is light in the midst of darkness, to see and experience love in the midst of the absence of love. This is your heavenly observation, and it brings you always to that table, to what is left, to that sense of I am sitting where I ought to be. The circumstances that I am in, they are perfect. They are hard. They are difficult, often painful, often joyful, but they are perfect according to this heavenly observation, this ability to know that what abides always is love. Although when we wrote these words, the world was in a very different place, it was a different time. Although when we wrote these words, we really had no idea how things would speed up, how the earth would begin to wobble, and how time itself would change, not only for us in observance, but for all of you. Although when we wrote these words, it was a very different planet. Consciousness is the same. Divine consciousness is the same, and that observance is the same. And so we are here to remind you that the course of events that you are facing have come only to pass, that the sense of extremes, of extreme poverty and extreme wealth, the sense of flood and fire, the sense of crumbling and of decay, the sense of the abandonment of certain principles that have held governments together over time. We are here to bear witness with you while you observe things in the process of decaying. Know that you are observing from heavenly consciousness, that there is a time to every purpose under heaven, and that none of this will last. There is a time. There is a sense of, yes, now is the time for this to crumble or that to crumble. Now is the time for this to fall apart or that to fall apart. Followed by, now is the time for a new edifice to be built. Now is the time for new seeds to be planted. Now is the time for a new Jerusalem to be built. Now is the time for a new regeneration. Behold, nothing is happening that you did not somehow know and understand would happen. Behold, deep within you, there are no real surprises, simply a sense of, yes, we knew that this was coming, and here it is. Know that all of you are perfectly positioned to be those heavenly observers which keep observing the light of heaven breaking through where every promise has been broken, You are the ones to see heaven breaking through. Where every flood has broken through a floodgate, you are the ones to see dry land breaking through. Where every fire has broken through the forest gate, you are the ones to see the dramatic breakthrough of the end of such fires. You are divinely positioned, each and every one of you, to see to the fullness of satisfaction the beginning and the end of these times that you are in and the season of what is next. Be not dismayed. You knew that this time was coming. It was an avalanche that each and every one of you understood, that you had prophesied, that you had seen, that you had intuited, that you had felt deep in your bodies. And perhaps you can be reassured that you knew this all along. And now what you know is the great becoming that happens for you all. We would like to now step aside so that the next group of voices may come forward. We do this hearing from Serena consciousness that it's quite all right to simply invite in the next energy while we step to the side of the table. Thank you for being at the table with us. Thank you for your beautiful observance. Thank you for knowing that all of this has a reason under heaven. Bless you. Good evening, dear ones. We are a group of souls that have come together here tonight on this evening to help you understand and embrace your evolution. We are your ancestors. We are your grandchildren, your great, 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 great grandchildren. We are your descendants as well. We are the fruits of everything that you have been thinking of and dreaming of. We are your future. Many times, dear ones, dear grandparents, many times we hear you longing for what you call the alien invasion. We hear you wondering, when will they, in quotations, arrive? When will the UFOs come? When will they help us make things right? We have come on this evening to help you understand that your future selves, the selves that you are evolving into, are these so-called aliens. That what you call aliens are simply the fruits of your spiritual labor, your evolved selves. We are the fruits of your spiritual labor. We, your descendants, we are those that you call alien or other. As you evolve over time, and as you continue to practice being and knowing that you are multidimensional, truly, truly, your brains will become larger. and you will develop a different kind of human shape. You will become a new species. This is not unlike what has happened before, when there have been other versions of what you call human. Neanderthal was another version of human. You are in a version of human. And we, your descendants, well, we are another version of human or humanness. We don't want to spoil the surprise and tell you what our name will be. It is not Homo sapien. It is not Homo erectus. It is another kind of Homo in the sense that it is a human being with a fourth dimensional way of interacting with everything and everyone. And so our appearance is quite like what you have envisioned by what you call little green people or the gray people. In fact, we are your future selves. We are the ones who have built the spacecraft, and we are the ones who have flown into our past to make sure that you understand that you are on the right track, that you will survive and thrive, and that everything that you are doing right now, everything that you are undergoing right now, is of enormous importance, because the compression that you are undergoing is what creates this new form of humanity. Us, the so-called aliens, your grandchildren. We wanted to let you know that while we will be joined by many others who do, in fact, come from other planets and other galaxies, that primarily the invasion, as you call it, or the arrival, as you call it, is simply the meeting of your future selves. It is our interaction with you, beloved ancestors, to let you know that what you are doing right now matters. You know yourselves how it feels when you encounter some kind of proof that 20,000 years ago, a humanoid was doing a remarkable thing. Maybe that humanoid had created a tool or found a way to irrigate their crops. Or maybe that humanoid had found a way to migrate across a desert. Oftentimes, you find yourself marveling over what your ancestors did. Many times you think, my goodness, weren't our ancestors incredible? Weren't they clever? Weren't they brave? Aren't we so proud to be linked to these amazing humans who traveled great distances, who survived floods and plagues, who survived great shifts in civilizations? Aren't we so amazed and proud to be linked to these origins of ourselves? Well, grandparents, that is how we feel about you. When we move back in time, when we come into this time, when we observe you, when we sit at table with you, we are filled with pride and gratitude and awe We say, look at what our ancestors did. Look at what they did for us. Look at what they did to ensure that the life of this planet would continue. Look at the sacrifices that they made. Look at the loving choices that they made. Look at the faith that they held onto. Look at the music and the art that they created. Feel these beautiful ancestors and be grateful for them. And we are. We, your descendants, we, with very different looking bodies and very different capabilities, we are so grateful for everything that you are going through and the integrity with which you are going through. We are so proud to call you our grandparents. We are doing our best to come and visit you with greater and greater frequency so that you may become accustomed to seeing us as your future self, so that you do not push us away as aliens, so that you may embrace us as your children. When we come, we cannot interfere with your timeline. You understand this. We cannot interfere with all of the circumstances for which there is great purpose under heaven. We cannot interfere with the flood or the fire or the plague or the shifting. We cannot interfere with the wobble in your planet. We cannot interfere with the falling of your governments. But what we can do is bring our observance to you so that you know that there is great purpose under heaven, as that other communal authorship reminded you, the Kohelet of long ago, that there is purpose under heaven for what you are going through. Thank you. Thank you for being our parents, our grandparents. Thank you for being our ancestors. Thank you for allowing us to be your descendants. We are grateful to you. Know that what you are doing and your response to it is creating a magnificent magnetic field that draws to it so many beautiful possibilities for your planet. Because you are intentional in the way in which you are walking through your dark time, because you are intentional, in our time, we are able to fuel our planet in a way that is good for our planet. Because you are intentional and compassionate in the way in which you are facing the tragedies that befall those all around you. Because of your compassion, in our time, compassion is the centrifuge that drives every classroom, that opens up every door, that is the catalyst for every government in our time. Because you are willing to protest cruelty, to say no to cruelty, because you are willing to stand up and be heard in our time, cruelty has no place. Cruelty has been banished. For everything that you experience, because you are observing with your heavenly consciousness, there is great purpose to what you do. And we are grateful. And now we step aside. And this is your group Souls Arena, and we are so grateful for the energies of Kohelet, Solomon, and the energies of our future selves coming forward to speak with us today. We are being invited also to notice that there is here present with us a group of master souls who would love to have audience with you. We are going to step aside so that this masterful collective may speak. Thank you, Zarina. We are so blessed to be with you. We come forward as a collective of masterful energies. The energies that are present are as close and familiar to you as Yeshua, White Eagle Emmanuel, Dr. Baker. Your Francis is here, your Master Saint Germain, your Lady Nada, your Blessed Mother, your Kuan Yin, your Oshun, and many others are here. There are also quite a few masterful beings who you are not yet acquainted with, but have come forward in response to the energies of your future selves, and they are also here. They are the masters that bring forth the glad tidings for your future, and they are also here in this collective. Master Teacher Emmanuel has been asked to speak as a representative of all of these beings. And so we give him full authority to speak. Well, good evening, beloveds. What a time this is, yes. I hope that you are comforted by the voices from your distant past as well as your distant future to help you understand that there is a purpose and a time for every purpose under your heavenly conscious, your heavenly guidance. What I have been given authority to speak to you about tonight, beloveds, is your development. You may wonder, are we indeed growing as fast as we think we are? Oh, yes, indeed you are. You, dear ones, are like those who run together in a beautiful marathon, spurred on by each other's energies and your vows of resilience. You are doing amazingly well. You have captivated all of us. You have been able to ascend what we had thought you could ascend. Understand that we had all thought that there was a certain high jump that you would be accomplishing in this life. And you have already done that, beloveds. You have taken us by surprise. You have gone far beyond what we had thought you were capable of. You have surprised us and delighted us and humbled us. And we are bearing witness to a rapid evolution happening now within you and as you. Broadly speaking, this time on your planet will be referred to in future generations as the time of great growth, as the time when growth happened in such incredible, logic-defying ways, as a time when time itself stopped and said, we are no longer running the show, you are. Truly, beloveds, you are in charge of your destiny in a way that puts the stopwatch behind you. Truly, beloveds, you are bringing forth from you to your table something that we thought would not happen for another century or so. And you are bringing it forth now. And that is that world awakening, the sense of what you are seeing crumble before you truly is the end of an era, and what you are seeing rising before you is the beginning of an era. You have been told that the time that you are in is of vast importance, and we would echo that sentiment. It is important that while you recognize that you are in a classroom, that you also recognize that you are the teachers of this classroom, that you are the masters of this classroom. Those masterful energies that are standing here, that do not have names yet, beloveds, they are you. They are your incredible overcoming of the violence of this time. They are your love, which endures forever. You have intuited, and intuited correctly, that the time is coming when there is no student and no teacher, no master and no disciple. You are quite right about that. In the past, we have spoken to you as a master would speak to a disciple, but that time has come to an end. For now, you have ripened so significantly that you are sharing in mastery with us. We are discovering from you what is set on the table, and you are teaching us how to bring forth the next stage of evolution. And so, can you not understand, therefore, why, if this is so, if the very aspect of master to disciple, if that very energy is coming to an end, how incredibly catastrophic that is for many on your earth plane, many who desire to stay enslaved in that old paradigm of student to teacher. Can you not understand why it is that so many of your fellow citizens on planet Earth are sore afraid, troubled down to the depth of their soul? They are not at the place where you are of understanding that this is a good thing, that every classroom must come to an end, that students and teachers must acknowledge that there are no teachers, there are no students, there is only consciousness evolving forward. This is a good thing, but it is also, for many, catastrophic. It means the end of a world as they know it. Here is where it is so important that you do your best to be compassionate with those that are afraid, those that would rather stay in a classroom, those that would rather stay in a feudal system or in a system of slavery, in a system of guru to disciple or master to disciple. Many here would rather stay in that system, and that system is falling apart. And it is falling apart because you are evolving. It is a good thing that it is falling apart. It is a good thing that the classroom is crumbling. It is a good thing that consciousness is evolving. We just wanted to help you understand with greater clarity why there are souls that are holding on for dear life to old paradigms and old structures that make them feel safe, while you, beloveds, are embracing a new paradigm because you know that love is safe, that inclusion is safe. You already know this. We are so blessed by all that you are doing and all that you are becoming. We want you to know that we believe in you. You have been told that you are being guided by beautiful, masterful forces. And this is partly true. We want you to understand that you are doing the guiding, that it is your divine selves that are guiding yourselves forward. And we are deeply proud of you for this. And we thank you and we bless you. Know that you are already there. And this is your group soul, Zarina. And we have one last message to bring. It is a message from a tree, and she has asked to come forward. Good evening, humans. I am what's left of a tree that was destroyed in a fire. I am living underneath the ashes of a plane in California. I am the roots of that tree. I have many ancestors and I have many descendants. I have been listening to all that has been said and feeling such kindred with you, my human sisters. For in my tree consciousness, I well understand what it means to be carried away by flood or famine or plague or fire, only for the roots to survive and to grow stronger. I am the tree that in your future becomes the canopy of this planet once again. I too have a future story to tell. I speak to you of a future planet Earth that is covered by trees, that has a canopy such that a squirrel could start its journey in China and never leave the branches of a tree, and could hop from branch to branch to branch and make it all the way over to South America in one journey. I am that future becoming on the earth plane. I am vegetation. I cover the earth. I am green. I am growing. I bring forth new life and new civilization. I provide a canopy, a shade, a dwelling place. I am the cooling of your planet, and I am coming forward. I am here too, and I want you to know that I am so grateful to you for putting your hand upon every burnt aspect of every tree and announcing that underneath the embers and underneath the flood, there is a beautiful growing taking place. Because you are in observance of this, my dear human cousins, I exist, and the future that I speak to you from covers your earth gracefully, bringing you all the coolth and the hospitality and the shade and the comfort that you long for. Blessings. And this is your group Souls Arena. And we are being asked that you imagine holding the hands of your distant ancestors, those who wrote with the wisdom of Solomon about a time for every purpose under heaven. Know that you can hold the hands of these ancestors now. And hold the hands of your descendants, those future descendants that look like aliens in how they are formed. Hold their hands as well. And feel now, beloveds, the bridge that you are, the loving bridge that you have made yourselves. Feel and know that you are that place that bridges yesterday, today, and tomorrow, so that it is all happening at once with great understanding, with great oneness, with safety for all. Feel the bridge that you are. and marvel what a resource you are for all those who are behind you and all those who are in front of you. As we hold hands with our past and with our future, we know that we are blessed in this present moment. We recognize that we are evolving right here and right now. And we are deeply blessed in this knowing. As we begin to acknowledge that we can, in fact, bring ourselves forward from this channeled meditation, from this deep conversation, we remember that we are living now in physical bodies. We remember our hands and our feet, the hairs on the top of our heads. We remember we have eyelashes. We remember that we can breathe and that we have hearts that beat. We remember the agreement to realize at all times that while we are physically incarnate, we are evolving as physical beings into multi-dimensional beings, and that this is our promise and our commitment. Bless you all for this beautiful journey. Bless you. Namaste.